Um,
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Made in Australia.
G'day, mates. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be tuning in from. We hope you are having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of INCRadio Made in Australia. I am Brother Morgan Goodfellow from the local congregation of Townsville in the ecclesiastical district of Queensland, the Great Southern Land, Australia. Tonight, we're tuning into something that's sure to touch the sweet tooth of all who are joining us today in this week's episode of INCRadio Baking, Whisking Up Sweet Escapes. But before we dive into today's discussion, as always, I'm never alone. Joining us today are our lovely hosts, Brother Grissom and Sister T. Sister T, how are you today?
Hello, Brother Morgan. Nice to see you again in today's episode. I cannot wait. This is going to be one of my favorite topics. Yes, I am Sister Teresa Brosas, all the way here in the local congregation of Gold Coast in the district of Queensland, Australia. Baking fills homes with warmth and hearts with joy. And today we'll meet Aussie women turning a hobby into something meaningful. Don't forget to join us in our YouTube live chat and share your baking experience and your favorite, of course, little treats that we'd like to share with everyone today.
That's right, Sister T, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, we also have a new host with us joining us today, Brother Grissom. How are you, brother?
Hi, brother. My name is Brother Grissom. I'm from the local congregation of North Brisbane here in the wonderful district of Queensland, Australia. Thanks for having me. Let's see how I do today. So whether cupcakes or sourdough, baking sparks creativity, relieves stress, and strengthens our faith. In the YouTube chat, be sure to share some of your favorite treats. Let's see what everyone has said. We've got some early comments here. I'd like to share some of them too. From Sister Priscilla Batan, she says, good afternoon. Brother Jude from Caboolture, we love INCRadio. Thank you guys for all your support. Brother Zero Ningala from Queen's Park, happy viewing. Brother Lance Bing from Shepparton, a blessed Sunday. Indeed it is, because of everyone who's here with us today.
Amazing, Brother Grissom. Yes, thank you to everyone joining us today in a live chat. Be sure, if you haven't already, make sure you click that like, share, and subscribe button. Send it to your family and friends. We'd love to hear from you. We love your support. Don't forget to mention your local congregation, and we love INCRadio. So before we jump in today's discussion, be sure to grab your flour, cuppa, and butter as we master this delicate dough together as we dive into Whisking Up Sweet Escapes.
Across Australia, baking has become a beloved hobby for many, including members of the Church of Christ. It's more than mixing ingredients. It's a comforting way to unwind, get creative, and bring joy to others. After work, after school, or after fulfilling church duties, many turn to the kitchen as their happy place. Whether it's kneading dough, piping cupcakes, or trying new recipes, baking becomes a moment of peace and expression. From sharing treats with family to bringing goodies to the congregational activities, their hobby becomes a small but meaningful way to uplift others. And just like performing church duties, baking teaches patience, care, and dedication, qualities strengthened through faith. Here in Australia, hobbies like baking remind us that simple acts done with care can inspire, connect, and glorify God.
Yes, and welcome.
Made in Australia.
Yes, and welcome back to today's episode. A lot of qualities to unpack when it comes to baking, whisking up sweet escapes. We cannot wait to dive into today's discussion with our special guests who would be joining us today. But before that, again, we'd love to give special shout outs to all of our early bird listeners who are constantly giving us their support and sharing our links, especially to our district Christian Family Organization overseer Brother Mark Kasayo for the District of Queensland, who says, Caboolture, we are one with the church administration. Yes, we love the unity. Mark, but thank you again for supporting us, for all of your support, for always sharing our link spot. And yes, we are one with the church administration of the Iglesia Ni Cristo. Thank you so much. For continue to send through all of your comments, brethren, and to our guests joining us today. We love to hear from you. And so, as we jump into today's discussion, we will hand you over to Brother Grissom.
Yes, thank you, Brother Morgan. So, as we said earlier, we've got with us two wonderful guests. We have Sister Zian May Ningala and Sister Christine Armamento. If you wouldn't mind, both of you, just tell us how you started baking, maybe some of the motivation that got you started. Any favorite bakers, maybe any favorite bakeries, any favorite baked goods as well. So let's start with Sister Christine. Hello po.
Hello po. I'm Sister Christine. I'm from the local of Townsville po. So I've been baking for the last 20 years, and it's actually a hobby because I wanted to bake for my children. So I make cakes for their birthdays. Actually, my inspiration for really is my grandma because she loves cooking, and she's actually a culinary arts teacher. So I grew up watching her cook. So she's my first teacher when it comes to cooking. So that makes me want to bake po as well. And because I wanted to make something special for my children's birthday, so that's why I taught myself po how to bake po, basically. Thank you po.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And I can tell that you certainly passed it down to your own children, but because Brother Kurt, one of my friends here in our local congregation, and your son, he has baked some cakes before, and they've been pretty good. So I can attest to the family recipe. Let's move on to Sister Zian. Yourself, any favorite baked goods? Anything that kept you motivated to bake?
Hello po everyone. My name is Sister Zian Bar from the local congregation of Queen's Park. I think I started baking around 3 years ago po. When I first came here in Australia. I think my inspiration would be my mom because back in the Philippines she used to do a lot of steamed bakes as well, baked goods. And then I used to help her a lot, and then I just improved my skills here when I came here. And then probably my favorite baked goods that I really like is like Filipino breads like pandesal, which is like some dinner rolls with which you can pair with sweet jams or savory things as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love pandesal. Very versatile bread. You can have it with anything really. You can have it plain as well. So that's good. That's good. Inspiration from our parents is always great for these hobbies. Anything to add, Brother Morgan, Sister
Well,
T?
you know what? I was just celebrating the way that Sister Zian was saying all of those baked goods. I could remember my childhood. So as she explained, like pandesal is basically this just traditional like a bun, but it's just hard to explain because in the Philippines, growing up there, it's the first thing I smell in the morning, and then sometimes you hear like somebody who the baker that comes in and rings the bell. It's just one of my like favorite sound because I know the fresh pandesal is coming, and I love it both savory and also especially sweet. And yeah, there's different ways. It's such a versatile bread. I just love growing up with that. It's like a Spanish inspired bread, right, Sister Zian? Because just from the name, like pan, right, mean bread. So, and I believe it's got yeast and stuff in it. It's like it's a very complicated actual bread to bake because I've tried without success. So I think I cannot wait to learn all of the tricks that the sisters have up their sleeve. And you know what? To get to know our sisters, our beautiful guests here this evening, let's play this or that baking edition, of course. And basically, the dynamics of this game is we are going to tell you two words, and you have to choose, Sister Zian or Sister Christine, whether you prefer this word or that. So does the name this or that? And of course we would like our audience to come and participate, so please, viewers, type in on our chat which one you prefer as well, and we will try and read all of your answers. So here we go. Let's get ready for this or that baking edition.
This or that.
Right.
Cupcakes or cookies?
So yes, the very first one, cupcakes or cookies. Let's start with Sister Zian. Which one do you prefer?
I like both, but I prefer cookies more because it just you could just carry it as well by itself, and then you could pair it with hot milk as well, and then you could just eat it. Yes.
I know what you mean. It's so difficult to choose, isn't it? They both have like their own specialties. Oh, that's a hard one for me too. What about you, Sister Christine? Which do you prefer, cupcakes or cookies?
For me, I prefer cupcakes because I love decorating. So cupcakes is something that I could decorate as well and put icing and all the bits and bobs.
That's my favorite part. Definitely the top of the cake. I think it's always a favorite of everybody, and especially when it's that beautiful texture and just the right sweetness, not too sweet and not and not bland. So yes, definitely yes. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
what about
fair
our
enough.
brothers? Do you have a preference, Brother Grissom or Brother Morgan?
Yeah, Brother Grissom, Sister Tito, audience, I like Sister Christine's answer, whereas cupcakes, you're able to decorate them and kind of come up with your own creations. I think it may even add to the flavor you're just your imagination for.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I think there's a lot of effort that has to go into cupcakes, but personally, I like cookies. They're an easier treat, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer when it comes to desserts, or in Tagalog, panghimagas po, cookies or cupcakes.
Oh, nice, Brother Morgan.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm learning. But yeah, when it comes to cupcakes or cookies, you can't go wrong, po, brethren.
So true.
Fair enough. There's no wrong answer when it all tastes good, I guess.
Yeah.
But that leads us into our next this or that question, I guess. So if we could run that one.
Sweet or savory?
Yes, so sweet or savory. Let's go backwards or this time. Sister Christine, sweet or savory?
Sweet, of course. I love sweets, you can tell.
Yeah.
Sweet pop.
I think that one was obvious given your proficiency with cakes. What about Sister Zian?
I actually prefer sweets as well, more on the sweet side. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we could expect that given our baking is about sweets today. But yeah, sweets are nice. They're always it's in the name. They're very sweet. But I guess it's good to limit it. What about you, Sister T, Brother Morgan?
Hands down, my weakness is sweet. Anything sweet, and that's probably why I'm so sweet as well. But but you know what? Sometimes when you've had too much sweet, a little bit of savory of the perfect type is actually really good as well. Just to balance it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
absolutely, Sister T, Brother Grissom, to our audience. And for those who haven't tried pan de sal, it's kind of a mix of both. If you're looking for something sweet and savory, try pan de sal. It will hit both spots for you at once. And so when it comes to baking, for our next question, audience, Sister Christine, Sister Zian, Korea Tech, can we roll the next question?
Hand mixer or stand mixer?
Right, so hand mixing or stand mixer. And also, Sister Christine, before we get your answer, or after we get your answer, can we get an understanding of what the difference is between a hand mixer and a stand mixer for those who might not be too accustomed to baking pot?
Okay, so the hand mixer pot, they're both electric. They're both baking equipments. But the hand mixer, you have to do it manually, like you have to mix it yourself. Unlike the stand mixer, it does its own thing. So, when you put all the ingredients into the bowl and then it mixes by itself, which is pretty handy as well.
All right. And so when it comes to hand mixer or stand mixer part there, which one would you prefer?
I actually doesn't have a preference, but when I make icing, I like to use the hand mixer. But if I'm making a bread, I prefer the stand mixer.
All right. And so at what times would each utensil come in better compared to the other part?
Well, the stand mixer, brother, is when you make like the bread, like the pan de sal. That's what you were saying before. So instead of kneading it manually, then the stand mixer will do the job for you.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yes.
So the specific utensil for specific stages of cooking certain types of desserts part there. Sister Zian, when it comes to you, would you prefer hand mixing or stand mixing pot?
Actually have the both of the mixer, because the mixer that I'm using right now is you can detach the mixer, which you can use as a hand mixer for mixing small amount. And then if you have like a bigger amount or a largest amount, you could just put everything in the bowl and then attach the head, which is the hand mixer, and then it will just be a stand mixer.
All right. Thank you,
Ah.
Sister. Yes, Sister G.
Interesting, isn't it? I'm learning something new while listening. And so basically, because I've had my stories with hand mixers before, I've tried baking and I've just had, things whipped at my face. So maybe I wasn't using it correctly, or maybe I wasn't using the right instrument. But sisters, we either Sister Zian or Sister Christine, do you suggest if someone is going to start baking to have both equipment, or can they just start off with one thing? If for example, if someone is just starting out.
Probably what I could say is that probably there's a brand actually that actually sells like you can do both, because the one I'm
Okay,
using,
so there
yes,
are equipments that come in both, like
yes,
3-in-1, for
yes,
example. Oh, okay, that's good to
yes.
know, Paul. That's good to know. What
But
about you, Sister
I
Christine? Oh, sorry.
personally, yes, I personally think that probably get to know and the equipment more so that they get more
Ah,
comfortable in using it. Yes.
I see. That's a good advice, Sister Zian. Thank you for that. I didn't even know. Awesome. Thank you. What about you, Sister Christine?
I would say if you're just started baking, I recommend the hand mixer. But I
Okay.
think, yeah, because it's handy, and because when you're just starting and you're just trying to learn things, I think
Mm.
it's better because that's where I started. So I'll suggest that one.
Awesome. Oh, that's great advice. Now, thank you. Thank you. I think I have hopes now because I do have one in the cupboard somewhere. I might give it a go again. Thank you for that, Paul. Right. We will move on to our next question. Kuya Tech?
Baking alone or with family?
So this is a good one. Baking alone or with family? Sister Christine, we might start with you.
Baking alone po for me. Because I like to be precise po. Because when you're baking, you have to be exact with the measurements and everything. So that I don't want any distractions around. So I prefer doing it myself po. But sometimes when the kids wants to bake, then I'll just let them do it. So they have a
Oh,
feel
that's
on
so
how to do it.
nice. And what about you, Sister Zian? What do you prefer?
I actually prefer the same as Sister Christine, baking alone. Yes, because I don't want any distraction as well sometimes. But then my little sister, she wants sometimes to help with me, so I just let her as well. So yeah, baking alone.
Oh, so sweet. So it's like a family affair, isn't it? Like you just do it all together when you are in the right moment, in the right, yeah, like occasion. It's true. I'm the same with my son. Sometimes he's like, "Mom, can I help out?" It's like, okay, which is good because you're teaching them lifelong skills and the passion maybe for baking one day, right?
Absolutely, Sister T. And we have a few answers coming in from our audience. We have Sister Laurie Kate Solomon from the local congregation of Townsville, who says baking with family. Thank you, Sister. Yes, baking with family can contribute to experience. I understand even with myself, need to begin with family, I guess, before cooking, just to gather that experience. So, but either way, we also have an answer coming in from Sister Alyssa Del Rosario, who says baking alone, Paul. So each to their own. Sister Christina mentioned she likes to bake alone as well, Paul, because she it finds it helps her to focus more. And last but not least, we have Brother Angelo Charles, who says baking with family. Brother Angelo, thank you for your input. Paul, continue to send through your comments, brethren, and guests joining us today. We love to hear from you. And as we continue, Brother Grissom, I do believe we have another question for our audience and our guest today.
Yes, we do, brother. If we could get that one played, please.
Early morning or late night bake?
Yes, early morning or late night bake. Let's start with Sister Zian. Early morning, late night bake.
I actually prefer late night baking because I get the kitchen to myself, so there's no more distraction or any messes. So I get to focus more on the dish that I'm doing. Yes, and then in the morning as well, we have work, we have school, and then sometimes if we have worship service, because I'm a secretary, so I have to focus more on the duty. So after that, in the evening, I get to do the baking.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess a late night bake is sort of like a relaxing activity after a long day, so that's fair enough. What about you, Sister Christine?
I'm the same as Sister Sian po. I'm a late night baker din po. I prefer baking at night when it's more quiet, everyone's in bed, I'm the only one up and doing my thing. So yeah, I prefer po than nighttime.
Yeah, fair
Oh,
enough. I suppose it's better for us to pursue these hobbies without distractions. And personally, from my own experiences with trying to bake, I've tried baking breads and things like that. I've always found that if I do it late at night, that leaves it time to proof overnight, so the yeast can rise and stuff like that. So I suppose late night baking might be the best time wise for all of us. And as Sister Zian mentioned, we've also got our duties in the church, which are always our number one priorities. So um, the hobbies are a good way to relax after the day, I suppose. What about you, Sister T, Brother Morgan? Have you guys baked? Do you guys have any preferences?
Well, for me, brother, I've actually been fortunate that my mom has passed on certain recipes to me, and that is actually very popular here with her friends. And also, she also actually bakes commercially for people that want to order through her. I don't bake as much as she does, but I don't know if you've heard of puto, which is a traditional sort of steamed muffin. That's how I can describe it, but it's popular in the Philippines. And basically, the way I explain it to people who've never heard of it is I just say it's rather than baking it, it's steaming it. And we have our own secret ingredients that obviously I cannot disclose of because my mom will not like that. It's a family secret. But yes, so it's not the traditional way that we would bake puto in the Philippines. They use like rice flour, for example, in the Philippines. We use other methods, and we have our secret, like I said, ingredients. So I really love baking that. And now I'm actually, when we do bake it, we try and introduce it to my 6-year-old son, who also loves eating it, but now he also wants to be part of it. So it could be like a family thing that we pass on, to generation to the next generation.
yeah, absolutely, Sister T. It's a blessing to have that generational recipe, so as to say, handed down from parents to children and so on and so forth. I personally, after joining the Church of Christ or becoming a baptized member, converted, have kind of dedicated myself to understanding traditional Filipino dishes. So I'm trying to learn myself how to cook. What's the most common one? We have adobo, chicken adobo, pork adobo. Yeah,
always my favorite. I love it.
So yeah, it's exciting. A lot of things to learn inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo, especially when it comes to baking. It's a great opportunity to share also with brethren. But we'll dive deeper into that shortly. For now, we have a lot of comments flooding in from our audience joining us in YouTube. In the chat section, we have Brother John, who says early morning bake preferably. Brother Carlo Fallon, who says late night. So each to their own once again. Thank you, Brother Carlo, Brother John. Sister Elaine Fallon from the Fallon family joining us, a lot of support, who says early morning baking, so you have all day to eat and digest the food. and food to bring to school and to work. For Sister Elaine, thank you so much. Absolutely right. So true. But we have a few comments also coming in from Sister Jerica Mangnuit, who says, baked Filipino bread is so yummy. Pandesal Spanish bread is so yummy. Yes, you're absolutely right, Sister Jerica. We have Sister Elaine Fallon once again, for your support. Hello, to our Assistant District Minister, Jojo Filipane, and family. Thankful to God for your presence here in Adelaide from the Fallon family in Adelaide. Thank you, Sister Elaine. And to Jojo, who is leading you guys there in your local congregation. But we also have shout outs from Brother Romar Scott from Shepparton, who says, oh, wow, what's baking in the oven, brother? Stay tuned and you will find out. Well, this episode on INC Radio is for all the bakers out there that love baking something fresh, from baking a cake to baking bread. Everyone will truly love tonight's episode. Come on, mates of Mia from Shepparton. Thank you, Brother Roma Scott. So supportive, brother. Sister Girly May Burbo, who says, Shepparton, happy Sunday. Everyone tuning in from Shepparton. Thank you, Sister Elizabeth Gulliford. From Adelaide, happy viewing. Po mga kapatid, happy viewing, Sister Elizabeth. Thank you for joining in. Sister Jerica Manguit, once again, hello po from Adelaide. Brother Carlo Fallon from the Fallon family, Adelaide. Happy Sunday to everyone. We love INC Radio, made in Australia. Brother Carlo, thank you so much. And to the Fallon family, Brother June Flores, who says, who is from Kalgoorlie. He says, happy viewing, brethren. Happy viewing, June from Kalgoorlie, but tuning in from all over Australia. And last but not least, sorry, we have a few more comments. Brother Angelo Charles from Adelaide. Happy viewing to all. We love INC Radio. And from Sister Ria Caseo, District Overseer for the Christian Family Organization for the District of Queensland, Sister Ria Caseo, who says, we love INC Radio Australia from Caboolture, Queensland. That is Brother Mark Caseo's wife. But thank you so much for all of your support, constantly tuning in. But brethren, continue to send through all of your messages and comments. We love to hear from you. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the like, share, subscribe button, as well as that notification bell to stay up to date with all of INC Radio Made in Australia's updates. And now, with our game, this or that section out of done with this section, we'll jump into today's discussion with Sister Christine and Sister other guests joining us today. Sorry, Paul. So as we jump into today's discussion, we want to get a bit of an understanding of how baking inspires faith and community. Sister Christine, we'll begin with you. How does baking fit into your busy day, Paul?
I do allocate certain days to bake, so it takes time. So because I normally bake for my children's birthday, and if there's any church special gatherings or celebrations, so I make sure I take a couple of days off prior to this special day. So I take 2 days to make my cakes for brother. So yes, I have to make sure I allocate time for it.
All right. And so a lot of planning and preparation. Sister Christine, Sister Zian joining us
Hello,
today.
everybody. Welcome back to the podcast for today's guest.
And so we want to get also an understanding, Sister Christine, you take some time off also to get these preparations and your baking done. Why does it take so long sometimes, Spot?
So yeah, I prefer couple of days, because what I do is I make the cake, the actual cake on day 1, and then I let it rest for the day, and then the next day I do the decoration. So the decoration takes quite a while, so it takes long time to do the decoration. So I have to make sure I have allocate time, because yes, before the day that it's needed.
Right.
So,
yes.
Sorry, Sister Christine. Sorry, Brother Morgan. With you preparing, like you said, the main part of the cake pop. So is that also like another baker's secret? Like, is it important to do that? And does it make a difference with how the overall cake will turn out, Bob?
Actually, sister, it's actually my personal preference, but you can still do it during the day. Like if you have a day off and you start baking in the morning, and then you let the cake cool down, because you have to cool it down properly before
Ah,
you
yes, of
put the
course.
icing. Yes, otherwise it will melt. So, so you bake in the morning, and then you let it cool down for the day, and then in the afternoon you can start doing the icing box. So it takes a while, and
Mm,
especially if you're planning to decorate it like really nicely and fancy decorations, then it has to
true.
be we have to allot a lot of time for.
Oh, that's great to know. Thank you for that. Thank you, Sister Christine. That's a really great information to share with us.
And so, Sister Zian, joining us today. For those who might be just tuning into today's episode, we're diving into baking. Today's episode is Whisking Up Sweet Escapes. And we have two very professional, proficient bakers joining us today, Sister Christine Armamento, Sister Zian. Sister Zian, when it comes to baking, how do you set aside time personally to bake for?
I'm same po with Sister Christine that I allocate time as well, so that if ever something goes wrong, or I could do it again in such a time frame, because it is very important for that you have a production time, so that if something occurs, you are ready to do another one. And then if ever I am busy as well, especially with schoolwork, and then with the church offices, I usually just bake simple recipes like banana breads, muffins, and then because it doesn't really require that much attention, and then preparation, and then ingredients. So it is very easy to whip up and then just bake it. And then if ever I have a day off, or I am free, I do new recipes like dough breads, and then um new recipes for cakes as well.
All right, and so for our audience joining us today, me personally, Sister T and Brother Grissom, for something simple like I believe you mentioned banana bread. What are some of the ingredients you might need for banana bread? It kind of stands out in the name itself. But what could you further elaborate in regards to that one, Sister Zian?
What you just need is some flour, baking powder as well to make it rise, to make it fluffier as well. And then if you want to add some chocolate chips as well, if you want it with chocolate. And then you could also use brown butter, where you melt the butter and then you dissolve or separate the fat from the liquid, and then it'll make a very nice nutty flavor as well, if you prefer to do that, but because I prefer to do that. And then you could use brown sugar, or either brown sugar or white sugar as well.
Oh, amazing, Sister Zian. And for our audience joining us, if you have your own personal recipe, something short and sweet that we can take in, don't be afraid to let us know your secret recipe. We'll be sure to give it a go, just as Sister Zian has given us her recipe. Definitely, Sister T, Sister Brother Grizz, I'm going to give that one a try.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. I mean, I've tried my hand at a bit of baking before, but there's always areas to explore. There's always more recipes to try. So I suppose on that note, do we have any favorite recipes from the two of you guys? Sister
Ooh,
Christine, Sister Zian, any
it,
recipes?
it's just it. That's for me. That's definitely very hard, brother, because
Yeah.
I love food.
No, that's
and,
fair. Yeah.
and like I said, sweets are my weakness. So I love to try different desserts from all over, the world. Whether it be like French pastry, Italian little cakes. But I just like to try different ones from all over the world. And I definitely think there's so much more I haven't tasted. So yeah, I don't have a preference, but I would love to learn, of course, traditional Filipino ones that I grew up with, because I miss
Yeah.
it. Because especially I haven't been back in the Philippines in 10 years, and it's just different when when you taste it when it's from Philippines for some reason. I just and the famous bakeries there that we have, I definitely miss that, and I love to learn how to cook those just to begin with. So maybe I'm gonna have to contact Sister Zian and Sister Christine later on for some of their secret recipes.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. There's a lot of just different cultures out there that make so many different types of food, and baking is such a such a versatile hobby as well. There's different types of breads, there's different things to bake. So I suppose for our guests, we should ask, out of all of the stuff that you've baked, do you guys have any memorable creations, any stuff that you've baked that um, I guess you really liked, or where you were really proud of the outcome, or maybe it was for such a very special event? Let's start with Sister Zian. Any memorable creations for you, sister?
Yes, brother. Probably the most memorable thing that I made recently is the brazo de Mercedes. For our viewers who are not familiar with brazo de Mercedes, it is a Filipino dessert that is a log of fluffy
Mm,
meringue cake, and then it has a
yum.
very creamy custard in the center, and then when you eat it, it
Oh.
just melts off your mouth. Then the critical thing about that is that when you roll it out, because it needs to be rolled out so that it has this beautiful log appearance. If you roll it out, sometimes it'll crack because um there's some ways to prevent the cracking as well, which I didn't know when I first tried it. That's why probably the one I made it crack. So I researched a lot and then trial and error to perfect it. Then the technique that I found useful is that you have to whip up the egg whites more, or you could also use vinegar or cornstarch to stabilize the egg whites. Yes.
That's what I was about to ask you, sister, and you beat me to it because I have tried to cook meringue in the past and I could never get the consistency of the egg whites correct. It either just, goes flat or it just doesn't form the way I want it to. So thank you for sharing those little secrets. So you mentioned maybe try a bit of vinegar, and did you say baking soda, was it?
It's actually cream of tartar or either
Cream of
cornstarch. Yeah.
tartar. Oh, there you go. So I'm gonna write that down. So for all
Mhm.
our viewers right now and those listening, hint, hint. So a bit of vinegar and cream of tartar on your egg whites to make it that nice peak, like stiffness, right, sister? Oh, thank you for that. That's awesome.
Thank you, Sister Zian, Sister Christine. Before we continue on with today's discussion, we'd love to acknowledge all of our audience who are tuning in to today's episode. Once again, if you are just tuning in, today's episode is about baking. Our episode name is Baking, Whisking Up Sweet Escapes. If you guys have any experience in baking sweet treats such as cupcakes, cookies, cakes, and the like, be sure to let us know your recipes and techniques in the chat section. We'd love to hear from you. And so, as we continue to acknowledge all of our loyal supporters, we have Sister Ali Rojo, who is from North Brisbane. Says, greetings, Paul. Shout out to Sister Christine. She makes the yummiest and most delicious cakes. Paul, Sister Christine, you have fans in the chat for all over the world. And a big shout out to you, Sister Alyssa, to Sister Christine. Paul, thank you so much, Sister Alyssa. We have Sister Elaine Fallon from Adelaide who says, we have a few bakers in Adelaide congregation. Sister Marif Ramoso and Car Josie. Shout out to them from the Fallon family. Thank you so much, Sister Elaine. We have Sister Laurie Kate Solomon who says, Sister Christine bakes the most wonderful banana bread. We'll have to give that one a try, Sister Laurie. But again, thank you so much for your support. And again, a lot of support coming in for Sister Christine, Sister Z, and continue to send through your comments, brethren. We'd love to hear from you. Another shout out to Brother Raymond Mabulak from Shepparton, who says, happy watching, Paul. We love INCRadio. Car Cheryl Cena from Dean Park, who says, happy Sunday, Paul, to all. Sister Evan from Adelaide, we love INCRadio. Car Nancy Cena from Dean's Park, happy viewing, Paul. Car June Capistrano from Wyndham, happy viewing, Paul. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Lance Shepparton. Happy viewing to our beloved resident minister, Brother Brian Paolo S. Laxon. Happy viewing, Paul. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for your support, Paul. We have Sister Mary Joy Ningala from Queen's Park who says, happy viewing, Paul. Happy viewing, Sister Mary Joy. Thank you for tuning in, Paul. Brother Ernesto Malasa from Shepparton. I love INCRadio, Paul. Brother Ernesto, we love you and your support, Paul. Continue to send through all of your comments, brethren. We'll be sure to shout you out. And last but not least, we have Sister Yana Carla Garcia from Adelaide. Happy viewing to all brethren. Brethren, if you haven't already, don't forget to click the like, share, subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to stay up to date with all of INCRadio Made in Australia's updates. Continue to send through your support. We love to hear from you. And so, as we jump back into today's discussion with Sister Christine Armamento from the local congregation of Townsville in the District of Queensland, as well as Sister Zian Ningala, they are taking us on their journey and their experiences of baking and how it contributes to their faith and their community. So, Sister Zian, as we hand our questions back over to you, Pot, we want to know, what do you love most about baking, Pot?
Baking actually gives me like it's like my form of therapy. Like that's how I heal and then how I rest throughout the very busy and then tiring day. So whenever I am busy and then um very tiring throughout the whole week, I whip up something that I could eat, which is like a very sweet dessert. So that's
Mm.
how I do my therapy. Yes.
It
Wow,
sounds very therapeutic, doesn't it, Brother Morgan? I love
absolutely
that.
took the words right out of my mouth. It's very therapeutic. Just hearing it too makes me kind of just want to sit back and cook something up.
And maybe the smell, right, of the baking, that just does something to your brain. The minute you just smell that smell of sweetness, it just something. I'm pretty sure it's all connected, and it's just a part of like helps to with our well-being, isn't it? Especially if it's that's something that you like doing.
Yeah, very euphoric, very it just brings you back to a good time, I guess, sister.
And even childhood, right? Remember, yeah, just remembering your own childhood of just smelling those beautiful cooking that maybe your grandparents did or the next door neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nostalgic, Sister T, Brother Grissom. And Sister Christine, what is it that you love most about cooking, Pot?
Well, as much as it's my hobby po, it's also my stress reliever. So yeah, I feel so relaxed po when I do, like when I'm baking something. And also I love feeding people. I love sharing what I make.
Oh,
And Brother
that
Morgan,
is
or
so
I'm
sweet.
sure he's eaten some of my baked goods. So yeah, yes, but if I have time po, I make sure that I cook something and then I share it to the brethren po. Yeah, I love I love that feeling po, to share to the brethren, and then you get they're happy and they love what you make, so that makes me happy po.
Oh, that is so sweet, Sister Christine. I love that story. And you know what? There's something about food that brings people, doesn't it? And it's just that warmthness, and that's something that you just connect people to, whether it be over dinner or over baked goods. It's calming for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, sister, in your experience and your journey of baking, Sister Christine, is there a memorable creation that you comes to mind, Pot, that you can kind of relay onto us and our audience, Pot?
Yes po. Actually, I've made a lot of cakes for my children, but the most memorable one that I made is the purple yam cake that I made for the 100-year celebration of the church, so for the centennial celebration
Wow.
po. So instead of using a buttercream icing, I used a fondant, and then I decorated it with the logo of the centennial celebration. So it took me a while, but it makes me really happy, and I brought it to Mackay when we had the celebration po,
Wow.
and I shared it to everyone, and everyone loves it. So it went really quick po.
Yeah, that's almost a compliment. Is if that food's gone quick, Sister T, Brother
Oh,
Grissom, it's compliments to the
definitely.
chef, Pot.
Oh yeah, no, it
But
absolutely is a compliment because if
yes.
you know it's good food, you want to get to it straight away.
Yeah,
If it's good
absolutely,
Yes.
food,
Brother
if it's
Grissom.
good food, it's only there for a bit. So
Yeah.
Yes, forget him while you can. And I can attest to Sister Christine and hopefully Sister Zian sometime soon, but definitely Sister Christine, as I'm part of the local congregation of Townsville, where Sister Christine resides. She's constantly cooking up or baking up many desserts for, and they are
Well,
delicious for. So we have that right and that honor and that privilege to enjoy Sister Christine's desserts by Sister T.
that's right. And you know what, Brother Morgan? We actually have a lot of cooking events, such as the Mr. and Mrs. Chef in the church. And I love these events because it gives people the opportunity to be able to showcase and show their talent in a culinary way. So, Sister Christine, were you able to participate in a Mr. and Mrs. Chef just recently that we had it in the church, right?
Yes po. So recently po, we joined Mr. and Mrs. Chef, but this time po, we did not bake. So we cooked some Filipino meal po, and then we shared all our cooking to the brethren. and it just strengthens the bond po of the brethren. So everything that we cook there, we just had a long table and we share it to everyone po.
Oh, that's
Can we
wonderful.
get
I
a,
love that.
can you let us know, Sister Christine? Obviously, you're there with your husband and Mr. and Mrs. Chef, with Brother Randall Armamento, a very active deacon of the Iglesia de Cristo here in the local congregation of town. So, what did you guys cook up together in Mr. and Mrs. Chef?
We made po beef caldereta. So it's my own recipe of caldereta po. So it's different from the normal caldereta. I don't know if you've eaten caldereta before, but it's like stew made of tomato sauce with tomato sauce.
Oh, one
Yes,
of my
yes
favorite.
po. Yeah,
Yes, I love it.
spicy. Yes po. So that's what we cook po, and then we shared it to everyone.
Amazing, Sister Christine. Yes, absolutely delicious. All of your food, whether it's baking or cooking, is masarap, I'm sure, just as much as Sister
Well
Yan
done,
is.
Brother Morgan. You
For
are
our non-Filipino
learning.
speakers, masarap means yummy po. So write that one down, masarap. We'd love to give a quick special shout out to the ministers who are live in our chat today supporting us. Brother Robert Santos from Dean Park. We love INC Radio. Brother Robert, thank you so much for your support, and your hard work, constantly sharing our links and leading and guiding the brethren of the Iglesia de Cristo Church of Christ towards their spiritual maturity and the perfection of their faith, Thank you for your sacrifices and for your service, We also have Brother Richard Esperanza, from the local congregation of Dean Park, who is also a very active and faithful minister of the Iglesia de Cristo, who says, happy viewing from the Christian Family Organization, who are today celebrating their Family Fun Day, as well as joining in the finance special gathering. Enjoy, Thank you so much, Brother Richard Esperanza, Continue, brethren who are joining us today, send through your support. We love to hear from you. Don't forget to, if you haven't already, click the like, share, subscribe, notification bell and buttons to stay up to date with all of INC Radio Made in Australia's updates. All right, and so continuing on with our discussion with Sister Christine Armamento, as well as Sister Zian Ngal, who are joining us in this week's episode of INC Radio Made in Australia Baking, Whisking Up Sweet Escapes. We'll continue on with our discussion with Sister Christine. For new bakers, as we wrap up today's discussion, we want to get a bit of an understanding, some tips and techniques for new bakers who are just getting into the hobby of baking. What is some advice you would give to them, Ate?
So advice I can give is like you should have the proper equipments, especially, and also you have to have the patience to do it. And also you gotta have a passion for baking, because the passion will push you to learn more and create more. Don't be scared to do trial and errors, because it happens before you perfect something. You have to keep trying and keep trying. So patience is number one po talaga. And you also have to love what you do. And of course, when you dedicate the things that you do for the people you love, then you'll make something perfect.
Amazing, Sister Christine. Yes, don't be afraid to make mistakes, as Sister Christine had mentioned, which has been a common theme in our episodes lately. They are just learning curves, brethren, and sometimes there's experiences that you can only gain from making those mistakes. So there's never a loss, there's only learning, So continue and trust the process, Thank you, Ate Christine, and Sister Zian, for up and coming and aspiring bakers. Is there any advice you'd like to give to some of our new bakers who are interested in possibly joining the hobby,
Yes it's similar to Sister Christine, that you have to love, and then that you have to passion to drive through the learning process, because there's gonna be a lot of trial and errors that you have to go through. There's gonna be a lot of different recipes that you want to try. So find something that is you're more comfortable, and then that you have more passion with. And also fun fact on the ingredients as well, and then getting the right equipment is like using a weigh scale is much better in using cups and measuring larger amount of ingredients, because every ingredients has their different weights. So weighing scales get their consistent and accurate amount that you need for a recipe. So it is much better that to use the weighing scale, but sometimes it is better to use the measuring spoons if you're using it for measuring small amounts, because sometimes the weighing scale doesn't take their weights. Yes.
That is really amazing advice, Sister Zian. Thank you for that. Because normally when I follow recipes and it'll just say a cup of this and a cup of that, yeah, sometimes some cups might be different from another. So that is amazing. I would never even consider that. So perhaps if new bakers are thinking of starting some things to get like a small like a weight scale, like a cooking scale. Oh, that's great. That's really, thank you for that, for sharing that. That's amazing. That's one thing to add to my to my list now.
Yeah, I can agree. I've been dealing with like they'll give you recipes that have butter and it tells you like 100 grams of butter, and I don't know how to do
Yes,
that from like a container. So I guess
true.
that's very smart to put in to get something that will actually show you the proper weights and stuff. But
It's
I
also less
suppose,
dishes as well.
yeah,
Gosh.
no, that's okay.
For you, you can continue, Paul, Sister Zian. Sorry, what was that
Yes,
that you
well,
wanted to add?
I can say po is that if you use too much dishes po in using cups, because in cups po you use a lot of different measurements, so you use a lot of dishes that you have to wash after a while. Yes.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go. Another
the
good
cleanup.
point.
Yeah, the
Clever.
cleanup.
Thank you.
Everyone likes to eat the sweets, but cleaning up after is always the difficult part.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So from Sister Christina Memento, Sister Zian, they've given us a lot of insight, taking us on their journey into baking. We've gathered and extracted a lot of qualities that baking contributes to their faith, as well as their community. Baking can offer qualities like creativity, as we've gathered, focus, and sensory engagement, leading to benefits such as stress relief, as Sister Christine, Sister Zian had mentioned earlier. It's very therapeutic for them, and they find that sense of relief and just enjoying their hobby in baking. It improves moods, also better nutritional control. When you kind of are doing the baking, you know what you're putting into the food, and so you have that control of the nutrition and what goes into it, as well as an enhanced self-confidence and stronger social connections through sharing food. These activities build life skills, provide mindfulness, and allow for self-expression, turning food preparation again into something therapeutic, rewarding, and a nourishing experience for both mind and body. So again, to Sister Christine, Sister Zian, we appreciate you taking us on your journey. It's been such an insightful experience, Brother Grism, Sister T.
Yes, of course. And I suppose we can also, we look at a summary of the values that they take into baking, the patience, the passion that they have, the care for it. And I think these are really good values to have in our everyday lives as well.
Oh,
We always want
definitely,
to
Brother
have
Gibson. Yeah,
in our
definitely.
lives patience, love, and care is always very important, especially for us members of the Church of Christ. Our faith, it takes patience, it does take love, it takes care. We want to be passionate about everything that we do, and we want to be passionate about our duties in the church. So I suppose, it's very good to keep up this sort of hobby because it really helps strengthen us spiritually as well as mindfully.
Definitely. And in addition, right? And how it can make everyone else around you happy too.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
for some reason, food just brings people together. And it's just amazing how we can also, have activities in the church where we do a lot of gatherings where we can eat together, and, activities such as Mr. and Mrs. Chef, and other activities where we might introduce, after an event, will we have, like, for example, in the Gold Coast congregation, after an evangelical mission, we might have like a themed food, where it be Korean or Chinese or Japanese, or sometimes a multicultural one, and it gives people the opportunity to gather together and enjoy food together, and it just makes everyone happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially after
absolutely.
like a long day of hard work, or maybe, we're all somewhat tired in the mornings. We get to come together with all our friends, have a potluck, and then some fresh food, some really yummy food. It's always um, really really cheers us up, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely, Brother Grissom, Sister T. And I've heard personally, the way to your Asawa's heart is through their stomach pot. So, delicious food contributes in all aspects. So, Sister T, Brother Grissom, to our guests and our audience today has been so inspiring. As we continue on with today's discussion, as we wrap up, we'll leave you with today's gift of the gab. G'day, and welcome to Gift of the Gab, where we expand our vocabulary and explore new words. Today's word is philomath. A philomath is a lover of learning and study. This word embodies a positive and proactive approach to knowledge acquisition, suggesting a lifelong passion for intellectual growth. We, as members of the Church of Christ, exemplify a philomath pursuit as we actively attend our congregational worship services to further learn and deepen our understanding of God's words so we can always do what is pleasing to Him. Thanks for listening to Gift of the Gab. We look forward to seeing you next time and hope these words continue to inspire and encourage you in all you do. Take care.
Yes, and thank you for those words. As always, Brother Morgan, lots of vocabulary to increase for us. And I suppose as bakers, we should all be philomaths, always willing to learn new recipes, always willing to expand our knowledge on making these foods. So I suppose as we reach the end of this, we should have a bit of a wrap up, a bit of a reflection. As we said, like baking, faith takes patience, love, and care, and both make our lives just a little bit sweeter. Sister T.
Yes, indeed. That's right. And I just can't believe how fast time went. I think we're definitely going to have an episode 2 of this. Like, topic on baking, because I
Maybe
think
a live
there's
show.
definitely so much more we can learn.
Yeah,
And
I think-
definitely, if Sister Z and Sister Christine is up to it, we might have to have them as guests again.
Yeah, absolutely. Sister T and Brother Grissom had mentioned it. A live cook-off might be the way to go. But hopefully,
Yes,
if we
definitely.
do have another episode in baking, hopefully by then we could have all improved our culinary skills and can contribute further to baking, because it is a united effort. If we do it all together again, it is a great way to all the more bond with the brothers, the brotherhood inside the Iglesia of Cristo, and with friends and family. Sharing is a great contribution to the community.
Yes, that's right. And you know what, Brother Morgan, baking isn't just treats, it's a way to share joy and glorify God.
Yeah, so from all around Australia, baking brings sweetness and warmth to our hearts.
Yes, and before we go, we would like to ask our guests if they have anyone they would like to greet, anyone around the world, anyone from your local congregations. Sister Zian, anyone you would want to mention?
Yes, well, I would like to shout out po to my very supported mom, and then my dad, and then my 2 sisters, Zyril and Zyra, and then my friend all the way from California po, Brother Brian Nguyen, and then our resident minister po, Brother Jamal Ramoticado, and then his lovely wife po, Sister Aline, and then all of the brethren po in the local congregation of Queen's Park. Hello po, everyone. And then my friends and relatives from the Philippines po watching today as well. And then from my local congregation po, where I grew up in the Philippines, local of Sakatihan, Zambales South po.
Yes, beautiful. Po. And what about you, Sister Christine?
Thank you po. I would like to greet my family here in Townsville. I want to greet my husband, Brother Randall, my children, all the brethren here in the local of Townsville, our evangelical worker, Brother Sean Bernal, who is here as well, and my son Kurt in North Brisbane, Sister Alisa, Sister Arian, Brother Aaron, and all our friends there in North Brisbane po. Hello po to everyone. Thank you po.
Yeah, amazing, Sister Christine, Sister Zian. Thank you so much for joining us today, taking us once again on your journey and sharing your experiences with us and our audience today. Our audience has been able to reflect and relate all the more to your experience by sharing their experiences as well. So we love all of your support. And before we wrap up, we want to give a special thanks to our INCRadio Australia team, especially Brother Aaron Ventura, who is our tech today, a very active brother who was previously in our local congregation of Townsville. We miss you, Brother Aaron. We hope to see you again soon. We also have Sister Chloe Lorenzo, who is contributing to our YouTube engagement documents today, where we are able to receive all of our audience joining us there in the YouTube live chat. Big shout out to you too, Brother Aaron, Sister Chloe. We also want to give a shout out to Sister Saucy Bunnis, who shared pictures of how she bakes, which will be featured in next week's episode. And if you guys have any experience you'd like to share with us, maybe if you're watching YouTube, watching INC Radio Made in Australia on YouTube while baking, get some photos of those when you guys are multitasking with your engagement and your cooking. Send them through to your local leadership, your local congregation, and inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo, and they'll forward it to our producers again to be featured in our next week's episode. So again, Sister Saucy, Bonus, thank you so much for sharing your pictures, and a big thank you to our Christian family organizations.
That's right, Brother Morgan. And of course, we'd like to thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo. Thank you so much for always supporting us. And keep your faith strong, everyone, and your hearts warm. Thank you for watching us this evening and being with us. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Brother Morgan.
Thank you,
Sister T.
Thank
you, everybody. As always, we can't do these INC radios without the audience. So, as always, we would like to thank you, our mates of Mia.
Thank you.
From the bushland to the beaches and everywhere in between, let's thank this week's mates of Mia.
From the local congregation of Blackstone English Classical District of Australia, we are INC Radio.
Congregation of Caboolture, Queensland, Australia.
We love INC Radio.
We love INC Radio.
From the Ecclesiastical District of Queensland, Australia.
We love INC Radio.
Local congregation of Gladstone, we love INC Radio.
The local congregation of Manor Lakes,
we love
INC Radio.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
We love INC Radio.